Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, it's 8 o'clock, which must mean it's time for the MooCamp Radio Show, the MK Dons radio show that thought that putting one past your own keeper was getting a bit boring, up until Saturday, when we reconsidered and thought it was actually rather a good thing after all. In a week as sad as this for music, we couldn't start tonight's show with anything other than Bowie. This is Lady Stardust. Just sit and marvel at how bloody wonderful it really is.
The makeup on his face, laughed at his long black hair, his animal grace. The boy in the bright blue jeans jumped up on the stage. Lady Stardust sang songs of darkness and disgrace, and he was all. This creature fair, boys stood upon their chairs to make their point of view. I smiled sadly for a love I could not obey. Lady Stardust sang songs of darkness and dismay, and it was all right. The band was all together, yes it was all right. The song went on forever, and he was up all night, really quite paradise, and he sang all night long. Oh, how I sighed when they asked if I knew his name. Oh, it was all right. The band was all together, yes, he was all right. And the song went on forever. He was up all night, really quite paradise. He sang all night long. Come closer now.
You listen to the MooCamp Radio Show on Seclo Sounds, the MK Dons radio show that thinks that you shouldn't count your eggs before they're hatched, or even put your chickens into one basket. I'm Brando, the man who frankly would rather just sit and play Bowie songs all night, but I've been advised against it by various people. Anyway, hi! Sitting directly opposite me is the man who, after reading several posts spread across social media recently, has finally learnt the true value of the phrase, step away from the keyboard. Say hi, modders.
That's good advice. Good evening.
To my left, the man who was somewhat put out to find himself in the middle of the youth invasion of the Cobblers walkway and was more than impressed when his 22-year-old son sorted it out. Say hi, Jers.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
To my right, I was expecting, having finally been allowed back into a game, to welcome Mr. Young Aldi. But we thought it'd actually be really funny if we banned him from the show instead. Now, he's not with us. But I'm delighted to say we have a special guest in the studio with us this very evening. Oh, I should have left the music going. I'm very pleased to welcome, for the first time, I believe, on the MooCamp Radio Show, Mr. Radar.
Good evening, everybody.
See, suddenly the listener figures are just shot up. They're flying in all over the place. Well, look, just like Ryan Cresswell, who is now the Don's joint third highest goal scorer this season, what you think is important to us. So, modders, can you please tell the own goalers and own goaleresses how they can get in touch with us this very evening?
I can indeed. You can contact us by having more grasses than Fisons, or alternatively, you can use more conventional methods. You can contact us on Facebook, and we're at facebook.com/the MooCamp. You can tweet using the hashtag the MooCamp during the show. You can text 80085, but remember to start your message with "You knock," or else it won't reach us. Or you can text direct to the studio on 07848 930 396.
And why don't you? Sounds like a very good idea.
Okay, Smokey, coming up on tonight's show, we'll be letting a smoke bomb off
You
in a
said
pub.
that earlier.
I did.
When we rehearsed earlier,
Yeah,
he said
sorry.
smoke boff then.
Oh, start again.
Hang on, let me just start the music again.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go!
Okay, Smokey, coming up on tonight's show, we'll be letting a smoke bomb off in a pub.
Day 17.
I'll be letting another one off in the Cobblers. There'll be some intimidating and issuing threats to fellow supporters who had the temerity to disagree with us. Someone will be walking 16 miles, and finally we'll be snatching a cheeky draw from the jaws of defeat. So you better see with us, right?
Sounds fair enough to me. Okay, I'm going to point at you in a minute, Mr. Radar, and you're going to read what's on the next bit of the script. Is that all right?
Really?
Just hold on 2 seconds.
Okay. God, there's actually a script, and I've got to read it. Well, this is
This has just come in from the news.
This is actually just come in.
Someone sent us a text.
All right, okay. Anyway, following the rather intriguing decision by Northampton Town to sell more tickets than they had seats, Club Supreme Andy Cullen has decided to try something similar for Saturday's match against Reading. Andrew announced that he would be selling an additional 10% of seats over and above the ground's capacity to generate a bit of an atmosphere, and asked for anyone interested in buying an additional 22,000 tickets to get in touch with him at the usual address.
And the bit underneath.
Oh, that bit.
Yeah.
I've got to beat. All right. More on this once we've decided whether to put in a bid or not. I'm just quite impressed.
Now you can talk again. Go on.
This is actually a radio station. I thought this was someone's living room.
That's proper.
This is like proper.
It's got microphones.
The fact that we're being evicted in a couple of weeks is not.
Yeah, that's
Never
nothing to do with
mind.
it.
Keep
Sorry,
that to
moving
yourself.
to new and improved premises in a couple of weeks.
Going
time.
up, no one.
But yes, it's almost like it's proper, this. Okay, it must be time to do this.
Roundabout of the week. It's the MooCamp, roundabout of the week.
It is indeed. It's roundabout time, where each week on the MooCamp Radio Show, I go out to see what's happening at one of the 3,426 beautiful roundabouts in Milton Keynes, and I pick one at random to describe to you in all of its splendour. Now, there's only 3 clues tonight, but I'll leave you to work out if they're all genuine or not. So if you're sitting comfortably, I'll begin with your first 2 clues. Clue 1. The Canis, so Rufus said, lived in Lancashire until 1974, when it moved to Cheshire.
Well, that's a bit of a giveaway.
Clue 2. Count my number, tally the total, record the score, and boom, Anita and Ernest know. So get your thinking caps on. I'll give you the final clue later in the show. But for now, get in touch via the usual channels to let us know just whereabouts is this week's Roundabout of the Week.
Great one, thank you very much. I think if you're not already
you're an
70%
idiot.
on the way for that one,
Then
you're
are
an idiot. Yeah, I actually found myself today. I'm morphing into you, and I'm looking at you.
Well,
Jez.
there's nothing.
It was really disturbing. I was talking to someone or about someone at work, and I just said, "She's an idiot," and it was like, "Oh no!" Anyway.
It's time for the question of the week.
Yes, indeed, it's time for the question of the week. And the question of the week this week, you're going to help us because we really weren't sure about this one. Is someone who lets off a smoke bomb at a football match a total idiot, or are they an absolute moron? We weren't sure, so we put the question out to you. And just to give you the answers first, Paul Harris, first-time listener, said both. And then Paul Harris said, and also a total moron and an absolute idiot. David Carr says they are morons, and people that don't think it's not wrong are idiots. The double negative in there, but I think I get what you're talking about. Sarah Goldsborough says both embarrassing and cost the club money, and we have to give it away. Adam Fair, and we have to give it away. Who do we give the money to?
Me.
Is that what happens when someone lets a smoke bomb off? You
Keep
get
letting
cash.
them off.
Fair enough. Okay. Adam Fair's big fan of the show.
Yep. Yes,
Both. And he says, and it has cost the club a great deal of money. Adam, if you could let us know how much and when Jers got it, that would be good. Jane Charlton says, no thought of the possible consequences, so both. It's kind of one-sided here. Have we got anything?
Sorry.
Yeah, I've got one here.
Roundabout.
Mr. Jers of this very parish, he says, it's just bants, mate, and if you disagree with me, I'll see you outside. Young Alvy, sometimes of this parish, says they are totally an absolute moronic idiot. Old Farm Don says, I would say both, but then again, I would have said something ruder altogether. Coddy says, I think you'll find it's neither. After much research, I found out that anyone that sets off a smoke bomb at a football match is someone has studied the perfect art of bellandry.
Bellandry is a good word. I think we should use that a lot. Bellandry.
Someone called Modders says, I think it depends on who you're playing and what colour the smoke bomb may be before you can properly pigeonhole the perp.
We may pick up on the colouring of that later on. Not the brightest thing we've ever done.
Scum Army says it's neither, because they are confoundingly repugnant, rapscallion, a reprehensible one-dimensional mass of loathsome repulsiveness, which I think is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, he says that about everyone.
I know he does, yeah. Mr. Kaiser Soze says, what if the smoke bomb's been let off by the SAS as part of a response to an ISIS attack? Think these questions through, you chumps. Mr. Weldon says, idiot or moron, are you serious? The person is bordering on genius. Letting a smoke bomb off and getting ejected beat my record of leaving the ground early by at least 70 minutes.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
There we go.
Okay, great one. If you've got any other answers to that, just a reminder, if someone who lets off a smoke bomb at a football match, are they a total idiot or are they an absolute moron? Do let us know in all the usual places.
Joke of the week.
What's orange and white and will make your hair look ever so nice?
We don't know. What's orange and white and will make your hair look ever so nice?
Brillatine Lewington.
It's beautiful. That's a fantastic... And bearing in mind, I think possibly the only people who know what brilliantine is are in this studio right now. Mainly because Radar's polished his head as well. Okay. It doesn't time fly when you're having fun. Let's just put this out there for a minute. Go.
Texts and tweets.
Yeah, I've got one here from Carl from MK1. He's texting to ask whether we've got any spare cash lying around.
Can I just interject? I have got 50 from someone here saying Dunk Radar, another one saying Dunk Dan, and then another one here that says Radar loves Dan. I've no idea who that's from, but I've got a good guess.
And they genuinely are about 50
They're genuinely 50. And can you stop doing it? Because it's annoying.
Right, I've got another one here. It's from Moron from Bletchley. They texted in to say that Winky needs to get his moolah out.
I've got one here. Randy from Sandy has texted in to say that Moolah needs to get his winky out.
Lionel from Wendover has suggested we bend over.
One here.
I picked up some of these before. I was having fun last night.
And Dan from CMK has texted in to ask if we want to sponsor him.
Well, can't argue with that. I already have, but I might do it again. More on that later on, or more on later on.
More on.
Yes, okay. We'll do this and we'll come back, we'll talk about some football.
That's enough of that. I'm John Twilley, and every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock on Set Close Sounds, I'll be bringing you Soft Touch. We get to the heart of love, dating and relationships in Milton Keynes. With dating tips, real life stories and the best music from the 80s right through to today. This is one relationship you won't want to ditch. Soft Touch, Tuesdays at 9pm on Set Close Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes.
You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show on Set Close Sounds, because you have no friends and no life.
Yes, indeed, as the man with the sexy voice has said, you're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show on Seclo Sounds. And we have some football to discuss. What a feast of football we have to discuss, in fact.
A smorgasbord.
A smorgasbord. A veritable smorgasbord of football. Let us begin with the Cobblers, in more ways than one. Hands?
Hand.
No hand.
Were you there, Mr. Radar, sir?
I was there, yeah, I
Okay.
don't remember.